Somebody put this little montage together on Biden. This is just fantastic. This guy's such a liar, such a snake, just like they all are.
Mr. Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv. Why is he on the phone with a foreign leader, trying to intimidate a foreign leader? And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and...
Yeah, just shove it off on Trump. Don't deal with your own indiscretions.
...from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. You should be asking him the question. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. This appears to be an overwhelming abuse of power. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. Trying to intimidate a foreign leader. I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch.
Sounds like he was trying to intimidate a foreign leader.
Got fired.
And look where he's speaking in front of. Look at this little banner, this advertisement banner, the Council on Foreign Relations, the mothership. Council on Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, Bilderbergs. He's all a part of it. He's a part of it, just like Trump's a part of it.
Got fired. And everybody's looked at it, said there's nothing there. Ask the right question.
Mr. Vice President, how many times?
So just a diverter. He wants to be the diverter in chief, I guess. All right, so today there was a little blow up on Twitter. I don't know how this happened. I don't know why this happened, but I'm just going to take you from the beginning. I sent out a tweet today that said, I'm going to show you the thread line here. Donald J. Trump equals big government, and he does. I mean, he expanded the government exponentially since he's been in office for this 3.5 years. Joe Biden equals big government, and he does. He's proven that with his track record of 47 years in Washington's District of Criminals that he's one of the swamp things too. He's definitely one of the swamp things. Government equals slavery. How does it make sense to vote for your enslavement? Did not expect this from Titus Frost because I thought he was on our side, but apparently I was wrong. He says, show me one example of an anarchist society that operates at the size of a country and provided half the freedom and opportunity that America has. Hint, you can't. I'll take a constitutional republic over a bunch of Chaz anarchist LARPers any day. And Trump is better than Biden. Well, what this displays to me is a profound misunderstanding of what anarchism really is and what's going on between the Trump and Biden WWE Left versus Right Dog and Pony show. So what I wrote back to him was, the foundational precept upon which so-called constitutional republics are built is that of individual sovereignty. And that's what anarchism is all about, individual sovereignty. Without that, you have no basis for the Bill of Rights. Anarchism or voluntarism, the synonym for anarchism, by the way, is voluntarism. Anarchy just means without rulers. That's it. I don't want a ruler in my life ruling me. I'm sure you don't want a ruler in your life ruling you. Anarchism is the moral high ground. To accept less is self-evidently immoral. Let me just give you an example. If I enter into a business transaction with you through force, coercion, threats, or violence, that is not anarchy because I'm doing to you what I wouldn't want done to me. I'm actually trying to rule over you, trying to get one over you on you. Because I believe because there's something going on in my mind, something amiss, that is basically saying I have a higher claim over your life and property than you, to the point where I'm going to do something to you what I wouldn't want done to me. I'm going to coerce you. I'm going to threaten you. I'm going to force you. I'm going to defraud you in some way. And I say, by calling the Chazites anarchist LARPers, which he did up here, you have gone, you appear to have a grave misunderstanding of anarchy. They are clearly statist in their rhetoric and their actions. Guys, if you look at BLMers and Antifa-ers, they are nothing but statists. Just for example, the BLM crowd, almost every single one, no, not almost, every single one of the founders of BLM are avowed Marxists. If you're a Marxist, you're a statist. If you're a statist, you're not a voluntarist. You actually want to do things by force. It's like what George Washington said. Government is not eloquence, it's not reason, it's force. And like fire, it's a dangerous servant and a fearful master. So he's championing the cause of anarchism being equal to statism when it's actually not. And he's basically saying, I'll vote for Trump because he's better than Biden, which means he's believing the left versus right paradigm lie. And I'm telling you, anybody who's promoting the left versus right paradigm lie is not a friend of liberty. They're not a friend of truth. They're not a friend of honesty. They're not a friend of sound money. They're actually friends of bankers and puppet politicians, whether you want to see that or not. If you're promoting any political parasite, you're actually voting for the chains of not only your own oppression, but you're voting and supporting the chains of the oppression of others. And who are you to do that? It's completely and utterly demonstrably immoral. And you can pacify yourself and all day and go, well, Trump's policies are better than Biden's policies. But at the end of the day, they're just two puppets on the same, and the shadow behind them is the same puppet master, the same Federal Reserve, IMF, Israeli puppet master. I said, are you against self-ownership and governance? How is Trump better than Biden? Both are puppets dangling on banker strings. Trump has accelerated our enslavement to the bankers at a much faster rate than puppet Obama. And this is clear, guys. No one has outspent Trump as far as increasing the national debt. Guys, and with one signature, $6.2 trillion. People flipped their lids back in 2008 and 2009 when Obama signed off on the $700 billion TARP bailout. That was $700 billion. People were losing their minds over it. Trump signed $6.2 trillion. Now all of a sudden, all the Republicans and people like Titus Frost are okay with that. That's called slavery, man. He's a Zionist. If you're voting for Zionist A or Zionist B, what does it matter if one or two of those policies seem good? Not only that, you're basically trusting what that politician says. In other words, you don't believe that politician's going to be lying to you. If you don't think Trump's going to be lying to you, if you don't think Biden's going to be lying to you every time they open their mouths, I can't even express to you the gravity of your naivety. So I'm curious to see why you're defending statism. Titus Frost responds, Obama was the second worst president of all time to George W. Bush. Trump is way better than Obama for many, many reasons. Second to the constitutional republic is any actual society, your anarchist LARPs cannot compete with America. You know what a LARP is, right? It's a live action role player. It's somebody who's just playing the part of a stooge. Titus Frost really starts getting into ad hominem attacks, and I'm going to show you that in a second, it's just unfortunate. And I'm not sitting here crying about it. It's just unfortunate that somebody would go there. I really, before today, I thought Titus Frost was on our side. Now I'm glad that I know he's not. He's not on your side. He's not on the side of truth. He's not on the side of morality. He's totally bought into the left versus right paradigm lie, which is cancer to society, guys. He's shoveling out cancer, saying, vote for Trump. Vote for Trump. He's better than Biden. Biden. The men behind the banker curtain are glad you think so highly of one of their puppets over the other. That's the whole goal of statism. That's the whole goal of the left versus right paradigm lie, to get you to buy and vote for Team Democrat, Team Blue, and to get these people over here on Team Red so that they can be completely distracted, deceived, and divided about what's really going on. Because what they show you on this side of the curtain is not what's really going on. It's what they want you to perceive is going on, when in fact, that's not even what it is. It's a complete distraction campaign. Even if some of the stuff might look good and the other stuff might look worse on the other side. It's literally two choices on the menu, poop soup or turd sandwich. How can you walk away going the turd sandwich is better than the poop soup? How could you ever do that? This is the mentality of statism, and this is why nobody thinks selling our prosperity down the river to the tune of $6.2 trillion is a big deal. And, people might go, well, why all this infighting? Stop infighting. Guys, this isn't infighting. Titus Frost is your enemy. He's literally your enemy. He literally wants you to vote for the chains of your own oppression, and he's trying to convince you that Trump is somehow better than Biden. And here's the kicker. He knows the New World Order is going to come in by both of them, and he's still going to vote for Trump. He admits that. I'm going to show you in a second. Hang tight, guys. Hang tight. Because Titus Frost, every time he opens his mouth, just like every statist, every time a statist opens their mouth, and all they have is, name one anarchist society that has secured individual liberties. That is not the point. Because that argument is just like saying, when somebody says, name one anarchist society who's secured the individual liberties like the Constitution has, it's kind of like saying, okay, because you can't name one, obviously anarchism ain't the way to go. That's like in the 1790s or 1770s, somebody standing up there and goes, name one slave-free society that didn't yield a prosperous economy. You can't have a prosperous economy unless you have slaves. Now here we are in 2020. We've had a prosperous economy for a long time without slaves. Now there's a caveat to that because we're all essentially economic slaves to the Zionist international banking cartel. But I'm talking about actual slaves in the plantation. And yeah, there's an argument that could be made there too. Because if you're voting Republican or voting for Democrat, you're just basically on the same plantation. There's just a fence row in between you. I'm just talking about literal, I'm going to whip you, boy, slave. Do your work. You got no choice. Go here, get up here, go pick that cotton. It's like, people are constantly saying, without government, how could we ever have roads and schools and bridges and clean running water? We couldn't have that without government. The argument's been made before. Without slaves, who's going to pick the cotton? We'll never be able to pick the cotton. We'll never be able to plant the corn unless we have slaves. But that wasn't the issue back then. The issue is, well, wait a second. Is it right or wrong to hold an individual, a human being, against their will and make them do something they don't want to do? Is that wrong or right? And then people like Titus Frost back then would be like, no. You're trying to skirt the issue. The issue is, where in the course of human history have we had a slave-free society that was actually productive and economically sound? No, that's not the issue. The issue is slavery right? And right here, the issue is what? Is the left versus right paradigm right? Is anarchism right? Is it the moral high ground? If it is, why aren't you following it? Titus Frost is actually going to reveal he knows that he's not on the moral high ground while he calls himself a Christian. That's the kicker. So it's not a question of show me in the pages of history where an anarchist society actually produced the results. No, the question is it wrong or right? It's not a pragmatic approach. It's a morally based approach. Is it ever right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong? If your answer is no, then you are not a statist. And if you live as a statist while you say no, you're a hypocrite. Does anybody have a higher claim over the life and property of others? If you say no, then you're an anarchist. If you live an opposite to your claim, your correct claim, then you're a hypocrite. You're not ideologically or in action consistent. So Titus Frost says, yeah, Trump funded ISIS, Trump raised taxes, Trump destroyed the military. That would be a good thing. Trump killed SEAL 6. There's no proof that SEAL 6 got killed, by the way. Trump oversaw Benghazi. That looks, the whole Benghazi thing is very suspect. It all looks, he's showing, and I didn't even think about this till just now, he is actually showing that he's believing mainstream media lies. Trump started the war in Syria. Trump appointed Eric Holder, who tried to destroy the Second Amendment. Trump is backed by Antifa terrorists, or was that Obama? How about Trump is it not enough that Trump appointed Steve Mnuchin as Treasury Secretary, who's a Goldman Sachs lifer, a Zionist international banking cartel insider? He's the fox watching over the Treasury henhouse. Obama created the Affordable Care Act, which was another tax on people like me. Yeah, and I'm against that. Obama opened up SBIR and STTR to multinational corporations. Yeah, and I'm against that. Corporations shouldn't even exist. Obama race baited for 8 years, helping to divide society on racial lines more than ever. I agree, and I'm against that, just like I'm against Reverend Al Sharpton, but I'm against Trump for doing the exact same thing. Obama's policies were all negative. Well, the policy of every banking puppet is negative. Even if it looks positive, you can't trust it because it's a frickin' lie. You remember, read my lips, no new taxes. That sounds like a great thing. The only problem is he lied. He lied. So to say you're going to believe Trump, look, Trump said this, I'm going to put all my money on Trump. That's ignorant. And those who desire to be ignorant and free desire what never was and what never shall be. This is talking about me. I love how this guy, that's me, who LARPs, remember that's live action role players, LARPs all day online, selling t-shirts. He's got a big problem with that. A lot of people do. Producing nothing but hot air is telling me about morality because I told him, hey, anarchy is the moral high ground, as if he had any. What's the implication there? Now he's attacking me personally, my character. He's basically implying Brian doesn't have morality, and I'm championing the cause of something that's more moral than anything that I've ever heard of. If you guys disagree that anarchism, which is nothing but conducting the affairs of your life in every relationship you had under a voluntary, non-force, consensual basis, tell me where that's wrong. Tell me where that's immoral. So basically he's calling me a LARP full of hot air that's only online to sell t-shirts, and I don't have any morality. And I told him I haven't engaged in any personal attacks against you. Hey, look, if we got something to say, let's talk about ideological grounds. There's no sense in bringing ad hominems in. He says, I'll debate you anytime, HIF. That's High Impact Flicks. I personally think you're a t-shirt salesman who repeats the same talking points over and over. What's wrong with repeating the same talking points over and over? Repetition is actually good in this life. Actually, repetition is what life is all about. We repeat things constantly. How many times have you brushed? I've brushed my teeth, 2 or 3 times a day for the last 10 years. I don't need to do it anymore. Just forget that. Oh, I don't need to hug my kids. I've already done that. That's repetition. I don't need to walk out the door and get in my car and go to the gym and do all those reps. That's just repetition. I don't need to constantly be talking about freedom. That's repetition. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You said that before. That's just repetition. Can you go on to something else? No, really, I can't. No, really. So he's ripping me about repetition, which is strange to me. And same talking points over and over that will sell. Guys, let me tell you, if I really wanted to make money on the internet, you know what I would do? I would immerse myself in the left versus right paradigm lie. I'd take Team Red or I would take Team Blue. But you know what? I can't do that. There are Republicans out there making bank because they can tap into a wide market, man. When you're an anarchist, you don't have a very wide market. There ain't many people out there that are liberty-minded. And that's what anarchy is. It's liberty-minded. It's give me liberty or give me death. There ain't a lot of those people out there because they're too busy selling their freedoms so they can have that politically promised security. Outlaw X says, or push Q crap. I can make a ton of money by pushing Q crap. Man, you know how much money I can make on pro-Donald Trump t-shirts and hats? I got a shirt that says sold out, SOUL''D out when he dropped those 58 tomahawks on Syria to the tune of $1.4 million taxpayer dollars each. Yeah, they don't make many sales, guys. My Sheepvolution shirts and the Convid tested positive for fraud. It's they don't make many sales, but if I did something like Biden for president, oh my goodness, man, I would have sales through the roof. This guy's saying that I do things over and over, knowing they will sell. God, man, it's just, and what does that have to do with the argument? And what do we have to argue about? Hey, Titus, I'm here for your freedom. I don't think anybody has a higher claim over your life and property than you. I don't think anybody should initiate unjust force and violence on you or people you love. I think people should follow the golden rule. Do to others what you want done to you so that you can be safe and secure. I think injustice against one man anywhere is an injustice against all men anywhere, including you. So I say, is there something immoral or antithetical to the free market principles about selling t-shirts? Are my talking points inconsistent with individual liberties? If I really wanted to sell things, I would play the left versus right game. And what would we debate? What the heck do we have to debate? I'm going to stay tuned, guys. You are not going to believe what comes out of this guy's mouth. You're just not. I was like, what the heck? He actually said that? Are you serious? Here's anarchy at work in 2020. No borders, no laws, no taxes, and the Chaz. That's the occupied zone in Portland. Anarchy exposed and easily defeated by an image board. Listen to this, guys. Listen to the first 53 seconds of this.
Today I bring you another tale from the hero known as 4chan. But the hacker known as 4chan was partying hard after having yet another successful batch of tendies from his loving mom. He went on his computer, as he normally does, to look at the news. His battle station, he dug right in. And that's when he heard about Chaz, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone that had been taken over by Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
Hey, let's stop right there. The Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone was taken over by Antifa and Black Lives Matter, two groups that are decidedly not anarchist. They call themselves anarchists, but they're not there for peace. They're actually there to rule others and to exert force against others. And if somebody comes against them in a peaceful way, like resist them, they attack them. That's not an anarchist. These people do not know what anarchism is.
A cop-free co-op with food and supplies. Signs and
Listen to this. Listen for this next clear indicator that this is not an anarchist society.
Capitol Hill declared this area an autonomous zone.
I think it means a lot of things, an anti-racist zone. Everything in the autonomous zone is free right now. It's free.
Everything in the autonomous zone is free right now. Guess what? There's nothing that's free. And when you call it free, you're a liar. Somebody worked for it. So what she just said by saying everything's free, like Bernie Sanders says, free universal health care. Like Pocahontas says, we're going to wipe out all student loan debt. We're going to give you welfare checks. What is that? And we're going to give them to you for free. What is that? It's wealth redistribution. Wealth redistribution is communism, i.e. socialism, i.e. statism. It's initiating unjust force and violence on this group so you can supply for this group and all the other groups against their will and without their consent. That is statism. That's being a commie. They're literal commies. Our anarchism is not communism. Anarchism is just leave me alone. I don't want to be ruled. I just want to do my own thing. I'm not going to hurt you. I don't expect you to hurt me. So there's a profound ignorance about what anarchism really is here. Let me just go over a couple more things. I'm going to play this video real quick. Look what Titus Frost says here. Look what he admits to. It's amazing. It's amazing, the blindness. The New World Order is coming with both. The New World Order is coming with both Biden and Trump. He's admitting this. However, Biden will mandate masks and mandate vaccines. How do you know Trump's not going to do that? He already started Operation Warp Speed. He already gave Bill Gates and Gavi boatloads and boatloads of taxpayer money. However, Biden will mandate masks and mandate vaccines. Well, Trump said, I like take the guns first, due process second. Trump said ban bump stock bans. You know what that means? Trump literally criminalized American citizens on American soil for doing nothing more than owning a plastic piece as an accessory to a rifle. Oh, just owning it. That's all. And you're a criminal in the eyes of Donald Trump. That's all you need to know that he's a tyrant, that he's a globalist, that he's for the New World Order, that he could care less about the Constitution that he swore to protect, uphold, and defend. The New World Order is coming with both. However, Biden will mandate masks and mandate vaccines, appoint and pack the court to take away our Second Amendment rights, as though our Second Amendment rights weren't taken away under Reagan, who is a Republican. Reagan instituted the very first assault weapons ban, guys. That didn't come from a Democrat. It came from Republican Reagan. And to protect their abortion baby murder racket. Yeah, Trump is a Zionist puppet, etc. Got it. His policies are better than Biden. What does Titus Frost admit there? I'm going to vote for a Zionist. He literally says he's voting. He says somewhere, I'm voting for Trump. I just said you don't use violence to achieve your goals. You didn't hold your employer hostage so you got your job. You don't keep your spouse locked in a basement or threaten to shoot your friends if they don't obey you. In other words, you are the perfect example of anarchy, because he's constantly saying, show me an example of anarchy. Where's it going to produce? You're an anarchist. You are an anarchist. If you want somebody ruling over you, you're not an anarchist. If you don't want them ruling over you, you are. Let's see. I just said this imperator truth, which is Titus Frost, appeals to current precedent, not fixed morality. We need look no further than the mirror to identify an anarchic microcosm to see how stateless societies work. So let me just show you this video, because apparently he felt compelled to make a video, addressing me. And his springboard is he's going to support Zionist Trump, not Zionist Biden, knowing they're both Zionists and they're both going to bring in the New World Order. I'm kind of in shock.
What's up, crew? Been interesting discussion for you all today. Just thought I'd come on here during my lunch break and have a little discussion. It's a topic we have discussed in the past, and I think it's a topic that surely needs to be discussed. What's up there, Canadian Pirate Bear? What's up? Yeah, I just go live at random sometimes. So, high impact flicks got censored on YouTube again today, and I find that abhorrent.
I don't know what he's talking about. I wasn't censored on you. I had my vlog channel terminated like a month and a half ago. I don't know what he's talking about being censored on YouTube. I did put out a tweet today saying Jeff Berwick from the Dollar Vigil Annie got terminated today, and I was trying to get to Team YouTube and try to get them to, bring his channel back, but I don't know what he's talking about other than that.
Okay. I find any censorship abhorrent. When he got censored the first time, I spoke out about it, and I'll do the same this time. They should not be censoring high-impact flicks on YouTube. That's total bullshit. Everyone should be allowed to express their opinions and argue them out in a public forum without being censored, any of that, okay? The second thing I want to say is I don't agree with high-impact flicks on quite a lot. We probably agree on more than we disagree. Like, we both agree that the New World Order is in control. We both agree that Biden and Trump are both part of the New World Order.
We both agree that Biden and Trump are part of the New World Order. I couldn't find there is, if you look in my tweets, unless he erased it, he said that he will be voting for Trump. So basically, he's voting for the New World Order, guys. He's admitting Trump is New World Order, and it's a 24-minute video. We're not going to watch all of it, but we're going to watch some of it. But basically, what he's admitting is that he's going to vote for the New World Order. Yeah, exactly, Jesse555. Why is he voting for Trump? He just admitted that both Biden and Trump are working for the New World Order. It's just, it's mind-blowing, guys. It truly is. If there was a case study in cognitive dissonance, you're listening to it right now.
Here's the difference. One, I'm a Christian, and I believe that you can only get morality from God. Without logo.
Did you hear what he said? He says, I believe you can only get morality from God. Belief is the enemy of knowledge, and knowledge is the enemy of belief. And I might step on some Christian toes here, and it's not my intention. But you can know when you're doing something moral, and you don't need a holy book. You don't need Islam or Christianity or the Constitution to know that all you have to do is ask yourself one question. Is this action that I am about to do on somebody that hasn't violated my rights and hasn't done anything wrong, is this hurtful action something that I would want on me? Before I launch my fist and swing it in the air and strike somebody's nose who has done nothing wrong, would I want that action done to me? That is, the objective answer is absolutely not. You do not, that is the moral base is it is never right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who have harmed no one. You don't need a holy book. You don't need holy writ. You don't need scripture. You don't need a wise man. You don't need a guru. You don't need anybody to tell you that. You already know that. It is self-evident. It's self-evident in your heart. You don't have to believe it. You don't even have to believe anything that I say. You can know it right now by asking your question. Is that action of aggression and violence that I'm about to do to somebody who hasn't harmed me or hasn't harmed anybody else, is that something I would want done to myself or my family? You know the answer is no. Objectively, no. Self-evident. So he's leaning on Christianity. And he's basically, under the cover and cloak of Christianity, he's basically saying, I'm going to vote for the New World Order. That is so messed up, man.
Morality becomes subjective, and therefore, someone who doesn't believe in Logos, doesn't believe in God, doesn't have any, objective morality.
Did you hear what he said? Whoever doesn't believe, me and Trish were having a conversation about this today, and she brought up a good point. She was like, did you hear what he just said? He said a person who doesn't believe in God doesn't have objective morality. Well, what if a person doesn't believe in your God? What if he doesn't go to your church? You know, there's a lot of people within Christianity that completely disagree with other people. Do you know that under the banner of Christianity lies Mormonism, Jehovah's Witnesses, Catholics, Baptists, Church of Christ? Do you know that the Church of Christ believes that the Baptists are going to hell and the Baptists believe the Church of Christ are going to hell? That tells me they got two different gods. Even in the realm of Christianity, you have multiple gods. Because even according to their own doctrine, the Church of Christ has their own God. They are not serving the God of the Baptists according to the Church of Christ. And they're sure not serving the God of the Jehovah's Witnesses or the God of the Mormons or the God of the Catholics. I don't know many Protestants who don't believe that the Catholics are completely cultic. And the Catholics, you know what the Catholic dogma is from the Second Vatican Council, 1962? It literally says anybody who does not bow down to Mary is anathema. That's the strongest Greek word for eternal condemnation. Catholics in their own dogma believe that anybody who's not a Catholic and does not genuflect and bow down to the Virgin Mary is going to hell. That's another God. So while he is claiming objectivity in the realm of religion, there's not even objectivity in the realm of Christianity. There is none. He's claiming that believing something is subjective. Yeah. Well, I know that's the point. That's the point. Is he's claiming to believe something. He's claiming that belief in a God under Christianity is objective, when even under the pale of Christianity is extremely subjective. It's mind-blowing that he can't see. And you know what's ironic about this whole thing? He can't see the forest for the trees as he's walking in a forest. I'm blown away, Titus Frost, because I really thought that you were on our side, but you have shown today in your multiple tweets that you are absolutely on the side of the New World Order. Thank you. I mean, for at least letting us know. Titus Frost is voting for the New World Order, and he's justifying it under the banner of the Christian faith. And that makes it even more deceptive.
It's all subjective morality. Another thing I believe is...
That everything he said so far in a minute and 50 seconds is completely false. I just can't even... Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And I'm sad, guys. I'm sad about this. I don't take any joy in stepping into this, but I didn't ask for this today. It's like Rambo. That Rambo 1, he drew first blood. I didn't want it. I wasn't welcoming this. But I'm initially I wasn't glad, and I'm kind of not glad now, but in some greater measure I am happy that this came out, because this is a turncoat. This is a betrayer. This is how serious this is. He's literally working for the enemy.
Is that there is a major difference between Trump and Biden.
After he just said they're both working for the New World Order and will usher in the New World Order, there's a major difference between Trump and Biden. He's speaking, he can't even be consistent with his own argument.
High Impact Flicks thinks that Obama and Trump are the same. He thinks that Trump and Biden...
No, I don't think that. I know that. Obama, Biden... George H.W., George W., Reagan, they all worked for the bankers. Everything after 1913 was all puppet show, all control. After Woodrow Wilson, and even Woodrow Wilson regretted. Let me just show you this. It's really pertinent here. Woodrow Wilson wrote in his book, The New Freedom. Look at this. Since I entered politics, and this New Freedom was written, ironically, in the year 1913, the year that the Federal Reserve went online. This is the first banker puppet, guys, the first official banker puppet. There may have been more before the Federal Reserve officially came online, but he says, since I entered politics, I have chiefly had men's views confided to me privately. Some of the biggest men in the United States, biggest men in the field of commerce and manufacture are afraid of something. They know that there is a power somewhere, so organized, so subtle, so watchful, so interlocked, so complete, so pervasive that they had better not speak above their breath when they speak in condemnation of it. There is a power. A power. There's a singular power. And guess who he controls? Guess who that power controls? Guess who that Federal Reserve Zionist international banking cartel power controls? People in the area of commerce and manufacture and politics and law enforcement and education and energy. They control it. They control the chessboards. For you to say, yeah, I'll take Bert, Ernie, and okay, there's Ernie and Bert. Okay, hey, this is Ernie. This is Bert. Oh, waka. This is Fatty Bad. Waka. Hey, Bert. Yeah, what? You're what, Ernie? To say that you're for Bert and that Bert has better policies than Ernie is to deny the fact that they're both on the hands of the same puppet master. It's mind-blowing to me that anybody would say that Obama was better. His policies were better. They roll out certain things under certain puppet presidents. And if you take a little bit of your freedom and you cast it at the altar of safety and security, which is exactly what they want you to do, and then they boil the frog slowly, it's because it's incremental. They can't take it all at once. They have to, in the words of, it's attributed to the guy with the funny mustache, and I can't say his name on any platform because you get your channel taken down, but he basically said, it doesn't matter who said this. This is just an appropriate quote. The best way to take control over a people and to control them utterly is to take a little of their freedoms at a time, to erode their rights by 1,000 tiny and almost imperceptible reductions. In this way, the people will not see those rights and freedoms being removed until past the point at which these changes cannot be reversed. If a politician is more deceptive because he makes more on the money constitutional promises, it just means that is the plan for that puppet politician. And Titus Frost has already admitted that both of them are going to usher in the New World Order. So any vote for any puppet, I don't care how good the policies look, is a vote for globalism. It's a vote for the Rockefellers. It's a vote for the Rothschilds. It's a vote for the J.P. Morgan trusts. And it's just utterly mind-blowing to me that he would just go down this road like this. We're going to listen to maybe a minute or two more of this.
Are the same. That we'll have the same result in this country if you put Biden in there or Trump. There's no difference. That's high impact Flix's take. And
that's not my take. That's the take of history. You want me to prove it? National debt. Did it go up under Clinton? Yes. Did it go up under Daddy Bush? Yes. Did it go up under Bush Jr.? Yes. Did it go up under Obama? Yes. Did it go up under Trump? Yes. If they are embroiling you in multi-generational debt slavery, they are no different than the puppet before them. So what if they, Clinton only added to the debt just a little bit. Actually, did you know Clinton had a surplus? Does that make him good? Does that make him better? Basically, from the Federal Reserve perspective, what Titus Frost is saying is that Bill Clinton was better than Donald Trump. And I know he wouldn't say that. Fiscally speaking, Bill Clinton was better than Donald Trump. Is he gonna admit that? Even though that's not true, Bill Clinton is not better than Donald Trump, even though he was more fiscally conservative, and they did have a surplus in one of his 4 years before he got canned. It's amazing. Titus Frost is, MIGA, make Israel great again, Choco Smoke.
my take is there is a difference. There's a massive difference between Trump and Biden. Their policies are completely different. And Trump, in terms of...
Their policies are completely different. I'm not even going to play the rest of this because he already said they're ushering in the New World Order. He already said in the tweet that he's going to vote for Trump, which means he's going to vote for the ushering in of the New World Order. Basically, they're both puppets on the string, but Trump's got better policies, so he's going to vote for Trump, being deceived by the policies. And my answer to that is this. That is tantamount to saying getting hit in the head with a 223 projectile launched from an AR-15 is better than getting hit by a Glock 22 40 cal. That's ridiculous because the end result is if you get hit in the head by either of them, your chance of survival is like this. It doesn't matter which bullet you get hit in. Hey, Brian, we're going to take you out and execute you today. What would you prefer today? A 223 to the old cranium or a 45? That's how out of control and out of touch and cemented in his cognitive dissonance Titus Frost is, and I hate to say that. I hate to be in this controversy, but here we are. Mike Maker says Titus is about to lay it out. but he just undid everything that he could possibly say. That even if he laid out 50 things that quote unquote Biden was better at, they're both New World Order puppets and they're both bringing it in. You know what I'd rather have? I would rather have somebody who just outright gives me, just here, I've got poison. Here, drink the poison. Here's the poison I'm going to give. That's Biden. Biden is here. I'm going to give you the poison. Actually, that's Trump too. Oh man. It's Trump too. Basically, he's going, yeah, we're going to bring the vaccine and we're going to bring the therapeutics and it's great. It's like a miracle come down from God. The vaccine, Bill Gates' vaccine under Operation Warp Speed is like a miracle come down from God. But I would rather somebody go, no, we're going to do a mask mandate instead of, pussyfooting around. Give it to us, Hillary. Give it to us, Joe. Let us show it. Just rip off the mask. Show the fangs. Don't deceive me. If you're gonna slit my throat, do it in front of me. Don't come up behind me and hug me, pretending you're my friend, and then put the blade to my throat. Hey, I'm not even gonna play the rest of it. There's nothing that he could possibly say that's gonna undo Trump is part of the New World Order and Biden's part of the New World Order, but Trump's policies are better. Insane. Totally insane. I'd rather have just give me the straight poison. Just tell me you're going to kill me. Don't tell me you're going to love me. It's like you want to go to scripture. It says wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. An enemy tells you what you want to hear. A friend tells you what you got to hear. I don't know. Leave your thoughts about this. What do you guys think?